not playing. He's suing everybody. The discussion is going to explore. I'm going to take a look how tax privacy laws work, why this case is very unusual in both scale and timing, because guess what? He's pretty much running the DOJ, and how courts typically handle claims against federal agencies. The host, we're going to examine the broader implications of a potential judgment or settlement, including how the outcomes are going to be funded. I already told you guys, if he wins, you know who's going to be paying for it. We're going to be paying for it. And what this could mean for taxpayers, guys. It's gonna be rough.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. Welcome back to another exciting episode of J&B Live. As you guys know, I'm your boy, your favorite uncle, you know, that guy, Broker J3.
And guys, you know I am your girl. I am Dr. B. So as I mentioned earlier, we're breaking down a story that has massive legal, political, and financial implications. President Trump is suing the IRS and the U.S. Treasury for $10 billion.
That's a lot of money, folks.
Yes,
you know, so don't misunderstand what you think you guys hear, because that is real. The president is trying to sue the United States IRS for $10 billion. Now, according to Reuters, Trump claims the IRS failed to protect his confidentiality, his tax records, which were illegally disclosed by a former IRS contractor and later published by media outlets. Now, all due respect to the president, that it is true. The guy who claimed to have done that, he also did it to Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and a couple other billionaires that he actually got their information. So that is true.
Okay, so Galactic Walks is trying to make as much money as he can before he's out of office. Exactly.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. And honestly, the crazy part is every president prior to Trump has always released their tax records. So why is it so damaging that he feel like his reputation is in? I'm tell you why. Because Trump only paid $750 in taxes because he claimed he had massive losses to his businesses that he didn't make any money. Now, the ramifications of that is, I'm gonna tell you why. Most people, when you're trying to get loans, you have to show that your companies are making money. So if now that it shows that his companies are taking massive losses, it would hurt his reputation of being a liar. Basically, that's exactly what's going down.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing as far as his reputation was concerned. And then they found out that his businesses weren't worth as much as he say they were. He didn't make as much money as they say they were. So in other words, it didn't really hurt nothing but his pride, in personal.
Yeah, well, because people found out the truth.
Yeah,
found out the truth that Trump made more money in the last year as being president than he has in his whole lifetime. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to be called, and he deserve.
He doesn't deserve to be called president. I'm sure.
You're absolutely right. So I normally don't do that. Yeah. To be truthfully honest, I'm already in outrage what he did with former President Barack Obama and his wife.
Yes. Did y'all see that?
It's absolutely ridiculous coming from a supposedly president. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
and I heard he's taking it down. We're not going to get into details with that today, but I heard he took the images down where he had President Obama and Michelle Obama on monkeys, their faces on monkeys. Yeah. And they said he received a lot of backlash, so he took it down. But even for a president of the United States to even put something out there,
it's uncalled for.
It's just uncalled for. It's unacceptable. I'm to the point now where some of these things that he done are just simply unacceptable.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, guys.
Yeah, and call it like you see it. Yeah.
So,
guys, the key question tonight are simple but powerful. Who pays if he wins this lawsuit? Who decides if he wins the lawsuit? And what is the dollar? Why is the dollar amount so high? $10 billion. Normally, when somebody files a lawsuit like this, it's definitely not $10 billion.
Yeah, Galactus says mocking people of color.
Yeah.
You are absolutely,
yes, exactly what
you're absolutely right. That's exactly what he's doing. Now, guys, drop it in the comments for us. Should a president's tax return ever be public? Now, again, remember, all presidents prior have always released their taxes except for the current president. Yeah. So, but drop it in the comments if you guys believe that the president's tax return should be made public to the American people.
I believe in total transparency when it comes down to what the president of the United States is making. We have a right to know.
Yeah. So, OG Easy Rider said yes. Now, I believe anybody in public service, whether they're the president, a senator, a congressperson, anybody that's in a public office where the people had to vote for them, they should be able to disclose their tax records just so the people know what's really going on. Because it
shouldn't even have to ask for them. It should have automatically be done because every other president has done it. So he's not exempt.
Okay.
He's not.
Okay. So Doc B, let's get into what actually happened. Oh, hold on one second. Somebody said AI God said, "Oh my God, I have been looking for you since I met you 3 months ago. What days are you guys on so I can?" Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes. Now, if you guys go to our YouTube and subscribe, you guys got time right now. Go to YouTube and subscribe, and hit that little bell. That way, when we go live, it'll notify you guys and let you guys know, because me and Doc B may pop up anytime during the week, but Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. are our scheduled times to be live.
Thank you, AI God.
Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. All right, now let's get into what really happened.
Okay, so according to Reuters and the Associated Press, these are two of the legitimate news outlets right now. You know, a lot of them have moved towards the Trump getting everything approved before they can actually say anything about President Trump. But a former IRS contractor unlawfully accessed and leaked thousands of tax records belonging to high net worth individuals, including Donald Trump.
Now, these records later appeared in investigative reporting. Mm-hmm. Now, Trump argues that the IRS and Treasury failed in their legal duty to safeguard his confidential information.
And I really don't think it should be able to win this lawsuit, but we're going to get into that a little bit later on, because who's going to decide if he wins? Okay, so the Associated Press, according to them, federal law strictly protects tax return information, even for public official, guys. Unauthorized disclosure is a violation, regardless of who the taxpayer is. But as we mentioned earlier, normally a president releases that information without even being asked to do so.
Exactly. And this is important because Trump isn't suing the media. He's suing the government agencies responsible for protecting the data. So now think about this now. Instead of suing the media, the people who actually posted that information, he's suing the government. Mm-hmm. This is ridiculous. It's so many times in my life I've seen some outrageous things, but this administration is worse than his first term. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. I honestly can't believe that we're living in a time like this. It just does not make sense.
Yeah, exactly, Broker J3. So guys, with Trump, he's going to try to sue as many people as possible, as many agencies as possible, because someone said it earlier, he's trying to make as much money as he can. Now, why? I don't know. He's old. He can't take that money with him.
He sure can.
I don't know what his intent is, but he has to leave office now, or he's not planning to leave. But just think about it. How good is that money going to be when he is put before the courts, and they may try to put him in jail? So you have to think about that as well. Okay, guys. So the first scenario He's trying to stop tax checks too. Oh, I heard
Yeah,
this is the
yeah,
last
yeah,
time we're gonna
yeah,
get
yeah,
was it federal income taxes?
federal income taxes.
Yes,
It
yes,
is
I heard.
this,
Yes.
it's crazy that you mentioned that, Bear, because think about everything that's been going on in the last year. The U.S. is in turmoil. People are hungry. People are losing their health coverage. The unemployment rate is skyrocketing. Inflation is going up so high. The cost of goods is ridiculous. The wages have not increased at all. But yet everything this man does is to try to hurt the American people. It just does not make sense. I can't.
And then a lot of people are losing their jobs. When he first took office, a lot of black women lost their jobs. I don't know if that was his plan or what. So that's flooding the market. A lot of people need jobs. A newspaper just recently let go 300 people. So it's the prices are going up on everything. And then unemployment is going up as well because there are no jobs. Some people are end up taking jobs just to make ends meet, guys. This is the world that we're living in right now. And it's kind of scary because you don't know what the future is going to bring.
Yeah, it's what's really crazy is, as Doc B said, it's so much going on in the world. Why try to hurt the American people? You claim you use that banner, "Make America Great Again," but at the same time, you're the main person in your administration is the ones that's hurting the American people. You're donating more money to other countries and stripping money away from the American people. It just does not make sense. Hey, Miss Empower.
Yeah, hey, and Galactica referred to you as cuz. So I'm not sure if you know who that person is or not. But while he's looking that up, guys, this is the part that gets me. If the banks leak your financial records, who would you sue? The thief or the institution? So he's trying to sue the IRS. And guess who? Who has to pay for that? Somebody, if he wins,
American people,
which he probably will.
American people.
I can guarantee you, there's a 95% chance that he will win.
American people.
The taxpayers are going to pay it, and like I said, he already tried to cut the federal income taxes.
All right, big shout out to Miss Empower.
Yes.
TDS Tuesday. We have Stand on Business. BW just joined us. Also Galactic Walk, Miss Cool. We want to give a shout out to all you guys. Yes, remember, J&B Live Podcast, we follow everybody that follows us. And also we always encourage you guys to follow our top gifters. Miss Empower just stomped into the room and jumped at that number one spot because she already knows. We encourage people to follow our top gifters. So if you guys want our followers to follow you as well, hey, get in that gifter spot so they will see you at the top. Okay,
guys. So now let's ask ourselves, why $10 billion, Broker J3? Why so much money?
Yeah, let's talk about that number. $10 billion. It was really funny is his companies combined didn't even make $10 million. Trump made more money in the last year as president than he have in his whole career. So that says a lot to the American people already, but yet you asked for $10 billion and your companies haven't even made that much.
And just think about it, guys. This amount is considered extraordinary high compared to previous taxpayer privacy cases, which often result in damages ranging from maybe $1,000 to at most a few $1 million. But no, $10 billion. Come on now.
Yeah. And Galactic, you're absolutely right. A lot of people have talked about the stench on Trump. He carries a smell with him. And you're right. I think he did poop in his diaper a couple of weeks ago. But the media try to downplay stuff like that. They don't want people to know that he really do have some serious health issues that's going on.
Yeah.
So again, now Trump's legal team argues, that because of that disclosure, it caused a long-term reputational harm against, his businesses, and that's what he's concerned about, his businesses, which I personally think that's a lie, because if your businesses haven't even made $10 billion, why would you try to say that you need $10 billion in damages.
Yeah.
It does not make sense.
Yeah, he does that because he thinks he's going to win. And guess what, guys? I want you guys to take a guess and put it in the comment section. How much money do you think President Trump or Donald Trump has made since he's been in office? Let's take a guess. He's suing for $10 billion. He's become richer since he's been in office than he's ever made. And see, this is the thing. What kind of president is able to get kickbacks off of things that he do while he's serving as president? I've never, it just is corrupt. It's like a mafia or something.
It's past corruption.
It's corrupt. Well, I'm glad some of you asked. It's $4.5 billion since being in office, largely through branding, investments, and business activity. Come on, guys.
That is absolutely crazy. He crazy like Hitler Bear says. You know what? Comparing the two, I'm starting to think that they're all equal to each other. You know, it's almost ridiculous. I can't even believe that we're having these type of conversations about the leader of a nation.
Now, somebody said stop lying. So now I don't know if that stop lying is you're being facetious or you just don't believe us. If you don't believe us, then you can actually Google that information and find out for yourself that yes, he has made $4.5 billion since being in office.
Yeah, he has. That's not a number that me and Doc B made up of. No. If this is your first time joining J&B Live, you guys, we always tell you guys, don't always take our word for it. Do your own research. Me and Doc B, we do our research. We report what's already been reported. Well, we're not just making stuff up on our own. Okay, so critics are asking if he's gained billions of dollars, how do you prove billions of dollars in damages? That's what I just spoke to you guys about just a minute ago. You're asking for $10 billion, but yet in your whole career, you've never even made $10 billion. Right. So how can you claim that you know damages worth $10 billion? So type a yes or a no in the comments if you think should the damages reflect emotional or financial losses. So if it should reflect emotional harm or financial losses, put a yes or a no in the chat. We'd like to know. Yeah. Now, someone did put in the comment section, how much did President Barack Obama make? I'm not sure. I did not do that research, but I'm sure you can easily find out. You can actually type it in Google, and it will give you that information with a reputable source. That's the key to it. When you do those searches, make sure the source is reputable. Now, I know most of them make a considerable amount of money after they leave office, because a lot of them, they write books and stuff like that. But as far as while they're president, I've never seen where they're making billions of dollars while they're actually the president of the United States. But again, as Dr. B said, and we always say, do your own research. Yeah, well, someone said Barack made millions. He may have. Yeah, I can believe that. I can definitely believe that. The thing of it is, while you were in office, that's different. You know, you made $4.5 billion, not million, billion dollars. And that's in the last year, a year and 2 months. Yeah, a year and 2 months, 4.5 billion. That's a lot. Okay. So who actually pays this if he wins, Doc B? Okay, this is where people really need to tune in closely because guess what? Somebody has to pay. You know, when they interview the person that's over the IRS, he never wants to give a straight answer when they ask him this question. He tries to just, say it under his breath when he says it. We're gonna find out who's gonna actually pay. So listen really closely. Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't be concentrating on that ballroom galactic. Yeah. I don't even understand why he even tore down the wings for a ballroom that the taxpayers have to pay for. Exactly, Bear. That's who has to pay for it, the taxpayers. It's just ridiculous. Now, according to Reuters, if Trump wins or settles this erroneous lawsuit that he's trying to that he filed against the IRS, the money would not come out of the IRS employees' pockets. It's going to come from the taxpayers.
Okay. Now, if we got someone online saying we need to give it a rest. We need to stop, get off the Trump wagon. I guess that's what they're saying. Now, what I want you to do, whoever, we just see a bunch of numbers that end with 142 as the username. So, if you have not been affected by anything that the president has done or any of his policies, that's perfectly okay. But we got some people who have been hit and who have been hit hard.
Yes.
So, we're not going to give it a rest because we believe in bringing this information to people because we want to empower people so that they know how to move forward. Some people out there are actually hurting.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not going to give it a rest.
And user, with all the numbers, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you for joining us because we appreciate everyone's opinion. As Doc B said, maybe you may not have been affected by what's been going on in the last 14 months in this country, but there are millions of Americans that are hurting real bad because of what this administration is doing.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So it's going to come from the U.S. Treasury Judgment Fund, which is funded
by
who?
The taxpayers.
The taxpayers. Everyone that pays taxes, guys.
Exactly. So, yes, if damages are awarded, the American public ultimately pays.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that, there are all types of benefits, on your tax return. I don't know if it's that what's called some type of credit that you may receive, but a lot of people say that they're getting more back this year on their tax return.
Probably because it's going to be the last year they may ever get.
Yeah, that may be a possibility. But I've heard that. I've even heard that people that are going to college can now claim some type of credit or whatever.
It's called a Trump something, I think.
Yeah, they don't have to pay taxes on their tuition or something like that. So, that's a good thing. But don't be surprised if he wins this lawsuit. Don't be surprised if you're hit hard next year, when it's time to file your tax returns again.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. So this is not anything that's unique to Trump. He's used to filing lawsuits. Y'all know that. He don't mind filing a lawsuit against anyone. That's how lawsuits against federal agencies actually work.
Exactly. And you know what? But politically, that really hits different when the plaintiff is a former and current president.
Yes, it does. Okay, guys, and let me ask you this question. Should taxpayers pay damages when the government violates someone's rights? Should they? Even a billionaire? What do you think? Drop it in the chat.
That's a good question, Doc B. That's a very good question.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Let us know what you're thinking. We thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah, and big shout out to all of our people, Sheila Costa, and even the user. We appreciate you joining us. DJ, I'm not sure what that says, but Galactic Walk, we appreciate all your comments. Thank you. We got Big Old Biddy Sin. Thank you for joining us. Cool Cat. Yeah. We appreciate you as well. We thank you guys for joining us here at J&B Live. Thank you so much for joining in on this episode. We appreciate it. So again, Doc B, so who decides? Who makes that judgment call whether Trump wins or loses this bogus lawsuit that he has against the IRS? Let me tell you, it's not Congress. This is not a campaign rally. This is the federal court system.
Okay, guys, who's been running the federal government?
Oh, Lord.
Okay, according to the Democracy docket and Reuters, the case was filed in U.S. District Court in Florida and will be decided by a federal judge, possibly with a jury depending on how it proceeds.
So the judge will decide, was there unlawful disclosure?
Okay.
Which honestly, it really was. It was. Did the IRS fail its duty? Well, they had an employee that actually was the one who actually leaked the information. Now, they did fire that employee. And to my understanding, if you guys Google it, that employee is actually in jail right now. And are the damages provable? Now that should be the real case, because if you claiming you want $10 billion, you know, show that your companies was making the kind of money. Now it's hurting because of the leaked information. But according to your tax files, your companies have taken massive losses where you couldn't pay taxes because of the fact that your companies took massive losses. So the only thing I think that's really provable is the fact that you lied about the income of your companies until your taxes show something completely different.
Okay, guys, and guess what now? Let's say, for instance, they said, no, we're not going to give you that kind of money, or he does not win the lawsuit. Okay, let's say he doesn't win. So any ruling that's decided could potentially go all the way up to where? The Supreme Court, guys. So the Supreme Court right now is in Trump's back pocket. They're doing whatever he wants them to do. Just think about it. They told him they can't convict him on anything right now. He's in their back pockets. So who do you think is going to win based on what I just said? If it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court.
So no matter how emotional people feel about Trump, and we know a lot of people feel emotional about Trump, and you know, the case comes down to the law, evidence, and precedent. Now, you know, it's kind of sad because, again, you know, having these conversations, you know, about a current president, you know, suing the IRS, suing the government, you know, it just does not make sense. It just doesn't sit well knowing that the American people are going to have to pay for it, and the provable information is your companies are not even making that kind of money, Doc.
Yeah. And then this is the kicker. Somebody said, well, you just wait till people don't get their tax check. You got that right. You know how they people cut the fool about them EBT SNAP benefits. Oh my goodness. They're going to go crazy when they don't get them tax checks. You are right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be something special. We're going to see how that works. Real quick question. Have anybody received their income taxes yet? I know many people have filed, but I haven't heard of anybody receiving any income taxes as of yet, at least not to my knowledge. If you have, put it in the chat and let us know if you received your taxes already.
Yeah, I've heard that they are sending them out and they're going to be on time, and the sooner you get yours in, the better.
Well, that's the talk. That's the talk. But we don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
So I'm just still stuck at the whole conversation about it. I just cannot honestly believe that he wants to sue the government for $10 billion.
Yeah, and this time, you know, guys, sometimes what he'll do is he'll say he's going to donate it. You've heard him say that before, even though there's never been proof of him donating anything. But he has not even said he's going to donate it. You know, he would say that just to get that attention off of him. You know, when the reporters ask him, and he said, yeah, I want to sue him. Yeah, I want to sue him. I should sue him. He gives the logic behind suing the IRS and stuff like that. But nobody, you know, the legacy media, they're not going to pound into him and, you know, ask him those tough questions regarding this topic. You know, so he, like I said, right now, he has everyone, the legacy media, everybody in his back pocket. Legacy media, because nobody wants to lose their job, you know. And then of course, when they ask him a tough question, he's going to do the name calling like a little child.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Huggy Bear?
Yeah.
Welcome, and thank you for joining the family. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. He said, I'm new to the family. Yes.
All right, good.
We appreciate our day ones, you know, the ones that came after, and our new followers. Thank you for joining the J&B Live Podcast show. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So should the judges consider political consequences or only the law? What should they do?
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think the judges should think about the whole political consequences of it all, or should they look at just the law? I think they should only look at the law. That's me personally. I think that's exactly what they should do. Look at the law and don't think about anything that's dealing political, because that's a hot mess.
Okay.
That Huggy Bear says the law. Yeah. Exactly. That's just how I feel about it as well. Okay, let's see if we can get past that for a second, and let's let's go bigger than Trump.
Okay, guys, this case isn't just about Trump. That's what we're talking about. Him suing the IRS for $10 billion for breaching his income tax information. It's about government accountability, data privacy, and whether the system protects citizens equally. Everybody.
Exactly. And again, according to Reuters, legal experts believe that winning the case outright for $10 billion, of course, is unlikely.
Okay.
But partial damages or settlements are possible. And still, that's still kind of scary to see that even happen.
Yeah. I don't think
Stephen Miller need to leave. Yeah, you know what? It's most of his administration needs to leave because it is the most unqualified administration that I've ever seen in my life, and it's a shame because his first administration, Trump had a lot of people that knew their job. So when he was getting a little out of control, they were saying, "Hey, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. That's not legal." So what he did this time was he made sure he put people in his cabinet that were loyalists. So basically, it didn't matter what he did. They're going to support him in every step of the way. Same thing with being able to shoot people in the streets and unalive them, and then cover it up and try to justify it, even though the evidence shows something completely different. So it's
a lot of unqualified. Cash Patel, Pam Bundy, Christy Gnomes, all of them. Just think about it, guys. All of them are unqualified, but he knew that. He wanted to surround himself with yes people.
Yeah.
That would do exactly what he says.
Yeah.
He didn't want anybody like the previous term that was going to make him and keep him accountable.
Yeah, and Gladly Walk said that's just exactly how Rome fell. And you are absolutely right. That administration is ridiculous. And America is the modern day Rome, the way it's being handled right now.
Yeah.
It just does not make sense. I'm sick of everything that's going on. It just really bothers me.
Yeah, and every day, guys, every single day is something. I was telling Broker J3 the other day, I know legacy media is tired. I know the ones that do the podcasters, I know they're exhausted because they don't get a break. They don't even get the weekends off because it's something going on every day. Now, it's a lot going on in the news because he's keeping us away from what he's trying to distract and keep our attention away from the Epstein files. Therefore, there's something going on every day. But I know they are exhausted because he's trying to distract from the Epstein files, which he can't do because every time he may distract for a day or so. But guess what? It comes right back around to those Epstein files.
Yeah, and you're right, Huggy Bear. It makes me wonder, why is he still president? And Bear, you're right. A lot of people are leaving the U.S.
Yes.
And you're right, Galactic Walk. I don't blame people for leaving. Me and Doc B just did our international tour in Asia. We just got back a few weeks ago, and it just makes the way we were treated over there and the way Americans are being treated over here. I can't blame anybody that wants to leave the U.S., but I don't think that we should leave the U.S. I think what we should do is get rid of the current administration and get some people in there that really truly care about the American people so that we can make America great again.
Because this is our country. It really is. But now I can understand, I'm with Broker J3, I can understand people wanting to live elsewhere because they're treated better. They want you in their country, especially when we travel to Thailand. They are glad you are there. They're glad to see you, and they respect you. Sometimes for African Americans here in the United States, for Blacks, we're not treated the same way. Not currently, not in the last year or so. You may not notice it where you live, depending on your city, but just think about what ICE is doing right now. How they're attacking U.S. citizens.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a shame. Again, it makes me think about our Asia tour. When we was in Vietnam, where America had that war. When we was over there, I can't explain to you how much love we received being over there. We actually had got so many followers. They were so happy and wanted to be a part of our podcast. And it's just so crazy that That's kind of love that they give you over there. And and you see we're black, and and they didn't care nothing about that. They were just happy to talk to us and just wanted to be a part of the J&B Live family. And we appreciate you guys and stuff. Some of you are live with us right now. Thank you. It's in the morning for them. So some of them probably at work right now.
That's true.
But nonetheless, I really pray that things change in this country. And you're right, Galactic Walt, the Epstein files, that's Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
Yeah. And that's why he's doing all of this craziness to keep our attention off of those Epstein files. So guys, regardless of the outcome, the lawsuit forces a conversation, a national conversation. So it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican or independent, about how secure our personal financial data really is.
Exactly, because if the IRS can't protect a former president's record, what does that mean for everyday people?
Okay, guys, so drop your final thoughts, anything that you want to share with us in the comments. Make sure you share, you like, and you subscribe. And we appreciate you guys for being a part of the J&B family.
Yeah, we sure do, guys. So again, big shout outs to Queen Kong, Galactic Walk, Huggy Bear, DJ Lamont, Baby Man Bank, Supreme Silk. We're on multiple platforms, guys. So be patient with me if I can't get everybody. No more blue, no matter who. Oh gosh, what is that? Top 2 Shifty.
Yeah.
We're on multiple platforms, guys. So we appreciate everybody that joined us. Patrick Lee, Say Less Queen, Erica. We appreciate all you guys for joining us today on today's episode. So, Doc B, give us a final thought on how you feel about this whole situation.
So, guys, let's just take a step back from the headlines and the personalities. This lawsuit forces us to confront a deeper issue, trust in government institutions. According to the established law, tax records are supposed to be among the most protected personal documents in this country. And when that trust is broken, accountability matters regardless of who the victim is. And that's what we're feeling a lot of, not just Trump feeling that with his tax return. We as United States citizens are feeling that trust is broken as well with the ICE and with all of the other stuff that's mess that's going on. So this case isn't just about Trump. It's about whether the system works the same for everyone when it's politically convenient. If the IRS failed in its duty, that raises questions about how safe citizens' information truly is. You want your information to be protected. And no matter how people feel about Trump, he's not my favorite person. The legal principles at stake here will impact all of us after this case is decided. Now, I don't think he should get $10 billion, and he probably won't, but he probably asked for more than he knew he would get. But he probably will end up with a large settlement.
Yeah, I don't think he should get a dime personally. This lawsuit, it sits right at the crossroads of power, money, and accountability. And that's why it matters so much. When a former president sues a federal government for $10 billion, it forces us to ask who really bears the consequences when the government system fails.
Yeah.
If the American people end up footing the bill, then transparency and responsibility become even more critical. Okay? At the same time, the courts don't rule on feelings or politics. They should rule on the evidence, law, and the precedent. Again, as Dr. B said, whether Trump wins or loses, this case reminds us that privacy, government oversight, and the taxpayer's responsibility are issues we all need to pay attention to, not just during elections, but every single day.
Yeah. And so, the purpose of the podcast is so that we can engage with everyone, inform, and empower you. So now that you know that your president has sued the IRS for $10 billion, and likely he will win some amount. I don't know how much, but the taxpayers are going to bear that cost. For me, even for a president to even sue one of his own agencies, because just think about it, it's an agency that he's over. It's just out of this world to me. But people elected him. You knew what he was capable of his first term.
Yes.
So, in other words, FAFO.
Yeah. And guys, we appreciate you guys joining us today. It's always difficult when you think about some of the things that's going on in this current administration. But nonetheless, thank you guys for joining us today. And make sure you guys, if you have a chance, make sure you go over to YouTube at Live with J&B, and make sure you guys subscribe. That's where you'll find all of our content, not just some of the shorts that you may see on our other social media sites. You'll get all of the content on YouTube. So make sure you guys slide over to YouTube and subscribe to at Live with J&B. Now, for some of you guys, we know you don't always have time to watch some of the content, but you enjoy listening to your favorite podcast. And if you do, no matter where you're at, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, listening enjoyment, just look for J&B Live Podcast, and we're right there. And make sure you guys follow and subscribe. And make sure you share, because there's somebody out there that will love to hear the content that we provide.
And we thank you again, and we appreciate you guys, and we love you. We love coming before you to give you this podcast. We appreciate your engagement. We appreciate all of the comments
and the gifts. Thank you.
Gifts, like I said, you may not always agree with us, but we can always agree to disagree.
Exactly. And what Dr. B just said, that before we close out, and this goes out to everybody, we always have Democrats, Republicans, and independents that's in our live. Now, we do not try to kick somebody out because they do not agree with what we're presenting. That is not what we do. We want everyone that comes into our life to have a voice. As Dr. B said, we may not agree, but we can always talk about it.
Yes, we can.
And so that brings us down to what we always say.
I am Dr. B, guys.
And I am Broker J3. You know what, guys?
Let's talk
about it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
You.
Until